Welcome to your study slides. These slides will help you prepare for the matter test in science. The test date can be found in two locations. The first slide of this presentation tells you the test date. You also are writing the test date in your planner. So that's where you can find the date of the test. I've been teaching for 18 years, and I have discovered there's a correlation between studying and test scores. Students who study more have higher test scores, and students who study less have lower test scores. So it's an expectation that you are going to do these study slides at least 3 times outside of science. I would like to do a Think Aloud Now to show how it works when using these study slides to study. So the slides that have the yellow background are the slides where we are reading and thinking. So I'm going to read all of the information and look at the model on this yellow screen. It says, George studies the models of gas, liquid, and a solid in the diagram. Then I'm going to take time to look at the diagram. I see the diagram with the gas particles, the liquid particles, and the solid particles. Then I'm going to continue reading the words. It says, use the models to explain why George can see an ice cube and liquid water, but cannot see water vapor. So right now in my head, I'm thinking of an answer. Why can George see an ice cube and liquid water, but cannot see water vapor? I know there's a particle model, so I'm thinking of the answer. And in my head, I'm thinking, well, the solid, all of the particles are packed together. In liquid, the particles are pretty close together. So George can see ice cube and liquid because the particles are close together. George cannot see water vapor because the particles are spread out. So on the yellow screen, I read the words, I looked at the diagram, and then after that, I thought of the answer. Now that I've thought of the answer, I'm going to check my thinking. So I go to the next slide. The answers are on the slides that have a white background. Up here, it reminds me of what the question is, and then here is the answer. Your answer might not be exactly all of the words that are on this page, but it should be close. And on a test, the more information, the better. So the answer that's typed is, the liquid and solid models show that liquids and solids are made of particles that are close together. When a lot of particles are close together, they can be seen. That is why George can see liquid water or a solid ice cube. George can't see water vapor because the particles are far apart. Every single time, I'm going to take time to read all of the words on the answer page. You can read the words in your head, or you can read the words out loud. Then I'm ready for the next slide. Up at the top and highlighted, it says, here's a test question. I don't want you to answer it. Answer the question in red. So this is the question we just answered, but we're not answering that. It says, look at the question in red. So the question in red says, what scientific law would we use for reasoning? So this question about George, would I use this first scientific law? Would I use the weight of matter is conserved law? Or would I use the chemical change law? Well, when we were working, I have a particle model of a solid, a liquid, and a gas. So I'm thinking that the scientific law that would be best would be matter is made of particles too small to be seen. So I think of the answer first. I can say the answer in my head. I can say the answer out loud. And then I check my answer. So the scientific law is matter is made of particles too small to be seen. So I was correct. If I was incorrect, I need to change my thinking. Once again, I read the answer on this screen. And then I'm ready for the next slide. This is a yellow slide, so this is where we're going to read and answer the questions. After you read and you think of the answer, then you use the white slide to check. Okay? You will continue through all of the slides, and when you completed all of the slides, then you can close your slide presentation. As a learner, it's important for you to take responsibility for your learning. On test day, that's the day to show what you know. So please take time to do these slides at least 3 times out of science.